Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Good morning, everyone. Today is February the 18th, 2025. Beautiful day, great to be alive. I'm back from my trip and ready to go. I went to Belize. The Three Rivers Rotary Club that I belong to has sponsored a school in Libertad Corozal District, Belize. And we went there to visit our school, assess what needs to be done next, which is a lot, and visit with the teachers and the students, and it was all very enjoyable. It was a very nice trip. It was in the 80s or 90s, most of the time in Belize. Also spent some time on an island called Key Caulker, which is beautiful, but full of little sand fleas. I still got my bites. Went with some good friends and had a lot of fun. I had an experience where I ended up in the middle of the rainforest with a wet bathing suit and a pair of water shoes. No money, no passport, no phone, wet clothes on my back. Our outfitter that took us to the river cave site, the driver left, took off with all of our stuff, passports, telephones, money, clothes, and they couldn't find it. So we were stranded in the middle of the Belizean rainforest. Some very nice people from Dallas, Fort Worth, thank you to them, gave us a ride back to Belize City, where eventually we found the driver who was suffering from some dementia and our stuff. So we were happy about that. We had the feeling of how are we going to get anywhere, but it is a disconcerting feeling to be wet and nearly naked in the middle of the jungle without a penny in my pocket, but we live to tell the tale about it. We have arraignments this morning. We have a couple of Three Rivers matters. Tim George is here with us. Jeanette Jackson is here with us. Anyway, met a lot of very nice people. Have nothing but good things to say about Belize. People are friendly, speak English, Spanish, and Creole, and some Mayan. My Mayan is not very good. Did visit the Mayan ruins at Lamini. Did go reef snorkeling. I'm still fit enough to do these kinds of adventure vacations. I guess I better do it while I can. So anyway, it's time to get back to work. Having a job makes you appreciate your vacations all the more. The kids at our school are wonderful. The teachers are wonderful. They just need lots of things. There is a phenomenon in Belize when something breaks, they just leave it broken. Everything's broken. So we have a lot of repair to do and some other things. The school needs repair and maintenance. And we also provide scholarships for the students to go to high school. Belize, once you finish 8th grade, that's as far as you get. You have to have a scholarship or pay to go to high school. And this little town of Libertad is very poor. It had a sugar mill in it at one time, and it was very prosperous, but the mill closed, and just like here in the United States, things sort of fall apart when the company town leaves. Anyway, the people were happy, friendly. We invited into a number of homes for meals. All very enlightening for a pasty white guy from Michigan. So it was good for us to do it. Anyway, I'm letting this run a little bit this morning just to say again, good morning to all the students at Libertad Roman Catholic School in Libertad, Belize. Thank you again to the friends I met. Thank you to the people from Dallas, Fort Worth, that gave us a ride back to civilization. And here we are. All right, Mr. Fogg, how are you this morning?
I'm okay.
Come up to the podium. This is a pre-trial. And I'm gonna think I got it right. You go by Orion, don't you?
No.
Orion.
Orion, yes,
All
sir.
right, I have two choices and I always pick wrong. Orion K. Fogg. You were charged with driving with an expired license, no proof of insurance. And you met with the village attorney, Mr. Knopfinger. He's agreed to dismiss both of those charges, including the civil infraction. And you're going to plead to the misdemeanor offense of allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. I think he explained it, but let's talk about it. It's a misdemeanor, a very minor one. It's a traffic code. It's a legal fiction. The other that you were allowing to violate the motor vehicle code is yourself. But they use this charge because it carries no points, doesn't even go on your driving record, won't affect your ability to keep or maintain your driving license if you otherwise can get it back. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Other than that plea agreement, did anybody promise you anything to get you to plead to this?
No,
Or threaten you?
no.
Well, I might as well go through the rights with you. I got time. Do you understand that if you plead to this charge, you're giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If there was a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Like it was asked me, I could appoint an attorney for you. Now, it says he has a statute pretrial this morning also with Mr. George. No, I don't think so. I'm going to make sure of that. All right. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you, and you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's another case.
I think another prosecutor walked in the room and had me sign another dismissal. I think his name might have been George. I don't, a bulkier fellow, older fellow, I don't know.
Older has a different concept. Somewhere between. I think Mr. George agreed to dismiss the city case. We'll figure that out here in a
I'll go
minute.
and see if I can find it.
All right. Anyway, so you're gonna plead to this charge. Let me take a look at this. And the lady from Jones on the retail fraud charge was 5 years younger than me. So you can't always tell how old somebody is, but Mr. George is quite distinguished. So I gotta do this treasure hunt for your case because it's a pre-trial, so give me a minute. Where's Brownsville Street?
That's in Cassopolis, Cass County.
Well, yeah, they got a Brownsville Street, Three Rivers. There is no Brownsville Street in Three Rivers.
Oh,
Let's take a look. Is that where you live now?
yes, sir.
What do you do over there?
Well, I just live there. I still work in Three Rivers.
Okay. Well, I haven't had any drama from your house in a year or so, and that's all good news. Where do you work?
Clark Logic. I don't know what, there's, I think 3 of them in Three Rivers. I work at the one by the movie theater Shell, the one by the movie theater. I drive a forklift down there, and I also clean like plastic equipment. I don't know how to explain it,
All right,
sir.
well, good for you. That's a poor excuse for a ticket. It was, what do we know?
Mr. George did not have an input into that last pretrial, but he did say he would dismiss his case as long as he's pleading to the state case. It would be one of each.
All right,
Only one for one,
so
actually.
that'll work. Who wrote this ticket? Well, you were 117.25. Where were you going?
I think I was headed to my sister's house in Three Rivers.
And was your license expired at that time?
Now I know my permit at the time, yeah, it was expired. Yeah.
Yeah, expired in March.
Yeah.
So do you have a valid license now?
Yeah. I passed the test and it's still waiting to come in the mail.
Okay,
So I have this paperwork here.
all right, that must be what convinced him to do this. All right, let me make some notes here. All right, this isn't gonna go on your driving record. So if you now got your license, if you got it, well, you got 2 tickets. You got this one in January. You got the Three Rivers one. That's a 23. That's a different ticket. Drive expired July of 23. You've been expired for a long time. Seems like that one would have induced you to get the other one taken care of. Anyway, eventually you did, so you're gonna come out all right. Fines $100, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee. $225. Can you pay that within 30 days?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
I'll like that, due by March 21. 225. All right, you got all your other tickets dismissed, including a speeding. I don't know what happened to that speeding ticket.
I think I paid it.
That might have been defaulted, so yeah, all right. All right, you can use that, you can use a credit card, green cash money,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Belize dollars,
Thank
no
you, sir.
Bitcoin, or you can send a certified check or money order. You're good to go, Mr. Fawcett.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was a little convoluted, but I think we took care of it. Somebody put a nice note on that, it helped me understand it. Oh, Mr. Lockwood gets a job at American Axle, that would be a good thing. We had a Cody Kauscher and a Jody Wood for pretrial this morning. We'll hear from Mr. George. Good morning, Ms. Campbell.
Good morning, Judge Middleton. How are you?
When I saw you last on all your other stuff, I knew this ticket was hanging around out there, but I think I saw you on February 10th, something like that. You got this ticket on February 2nd, but they didn't file it with the court until February 10th. So I looked for it, but it hadn't yet made it into the system. It's another Three Rivers disorderly person ticket. It's alleged that on February the 2nd, you were a disorderly person in Three Rivers. We took care of several of these the last time you were here. I gave you a couple of days in jail and you had to go deal with Judge Stutzman. I looked at your circuit court records. It appears Judge Stutzman canceled your bond and you're set for sentencing sometime in March. And then you have another case pending. Does that sound right? Yes.
Yes.
Well, Mr. George, the Three Rivers City Attorney, said, well, this was a separate incident, but we would not object to time served. So let's talk about this.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When I go get sentenced on March 14th for that case, the case that's pending, I'm still on bond for though, right?
Say that again?
Am I still on bond for the case?
No,
that's pending?
judge canceled your bond.
So when I go get sentenced, I gotta get another bond for the other case?
Well, you're not gonna get a bond. if he may sentence you, you got two cases in circuit court. You got one that is set for sentence in March and another one that's got a status conference pending. But once you plead guilty, you're no longer entitled to a bond. They can leave it, but once you enter the plea, Judge Stutzman canceled your bond. So even if you have $1 million, you can't get out.
So he's gonna sentence me on the 14th and I can go?
Well, I don't know what he's gonna do with you on the 14th. He might send you to the probation center, he might put you in a treatment program, he might send you to jail. But I don't know enough about those cases to know what he's gonna do.
But hypothetically saying he gives me time served, I can go then?
Well, I'm gonna give you time served if you plead to this.
Okay.
But I don't know what Judge Stutzman is gonna do in March. You got, I just looked at it this morning.
Yeah.
I wish we could have taken care of this when you were here the last time.
Right, because I was
But-
sleeping good, Judge Middleton.
Your Honor.
Yes,
Do you know whether or not in the pending case in circuit court that
That's
she has a bond for that or not?
well, I
Or
can
you
look.
tell?
It doesn't matter. If she has.
I know, but it might need to be canceled at some point, otherwise she won't accrue any.
Yeah, that's,
time.
let's take a look.
I don't want to accrue any time. I don't want it to be canceled.
All right, that's fine. So, all right.
Oh.
Well, anyway, are you willing to plead to this disorderly person charge? You've got 16 days in jail. I'm gonna give you 16 days credit, 16
Yeah.
days.
That works.
All right. Anybody threaten you to do that?
No,
Promise you anything?
no.
Do you understand you're gonna give up all the rights on that advice or right sheet if you plead to this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened on this particular day? I can't tell. It was,
I was at Pizza,
all right.
and I was yelling
What were you
Yeah.
mad about?
because they won't let me use the phone.
What's that? Oh,
I didn't pay my phone bill. I didn't have money to pay my phone bill. And so I went over there to use the phone so I could get a ride out of Three Rivers to Kalamazoo Zoo, and they wouldn't let me use the phone. So when they called the police, I was yelling, and while the police was there, I told the girl to shut the F up, and he said, "You're disorderly," and so he, canned off.
well, that's the essence of disorderly right there. So, as I said, we knew this was out there,
I
Mr.
didn't
George
know.
and I both, when I saw you last, but I didn't, it hadn't, I don't know what happened, it hadn't made it all the way into the system. That's under Three Rivers Ordinance 029112. 16 days credit, 16 days, $125 or 2 additional days with the time you're already doing. So this isn't going to result in any additional jail time. And your matter is set for sentencing in front of Judge Stutzman in March, but you have another case that's still pending. And that's the one you don't want him to cancel the bond in that.
Right.
All right. Well, you're good to go. All right, good luck. I think 16 days of clean time is a good start.
Yes, it is. Your Honor. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. Yelling in Pizza Hut and cursing is probably the essence of this statute.
102.3.